Sports bettors, I got 6 crazy player props for you today. So we're going to be looking at this new Prize Picks competitor. It's called Parlay Play. You can see it right here. And basically it's a platform that works just like Prize Picks if you're familiar with Prize Picks, but it offers slightly higher payouts. So it's actually a little easier to find value on Parlay Play. Again, they give you slightly higher payouts than Prize Picks. So without further ado, I'm going to take you through these 6 player props again in these videos. I'm really just trying to show you guys how I'm finding value, what I'm putting my own money on. The point of these videos is to be educational, explain how platforms like Prize Picks, Parlay Play work. So if you have any questions about sharp sports betting, never hesitate to, reach out. I'll include my email in the description. Happy to answer any questions. But anyways, my first player prop for Thursday is right here. So it's from this betting tool called the Sportsbook Screen. So you can see Sportsbook Screen. And basically what this tool does is it gives you the complete view of the market, right? You can see where every book has their odds set, where every book has their line set. Right? So what's so crazy about sports betting, the reason it can be so profitable as a sharp sports bettor is all of these books, right? Prize Picks, Parlay Play, all these platforms, they set lines independently. So what you're going to notice is for Jason Tatum, Prize Picks has Tatum's line at 29.5, right? They have his line at 29.5 points. So if you look at Parlay Play, they have his line at 30.5. So we found an inefficiency. You can see basically every sportsbook, every platform has Tatum's line at 29.5 points, yet Parlay Play's at 30.5, right? So their line is too high. We have dozens of sportsbooks. All these sportsbooks are data points telling us, Tatum's line should be set at 29.5. Parlay Play had him at 30.5. As you can see right here, we found value in the market. We want to take Tatum's under. Parlay Play, they're too high relative to every other data point. All these sports books are data points telling us where a line should be set. And on Parlay Play, they have Tatum's line at 30.5. All the other platforms are at 29.5. On the other hand, you look at Jaylen Brown, well, there's no value in the market, right? All these platforms, they all have Jaylen Brown's line set at 24.5 points, right? So there's no value in the market. As a sharp sports bettor, you're hunting. Just like an investor is looking for those rare few mispriced assets where they think they're getting an underpriced asset, however you want to think about it, it's the same as a sharp sports bettor, right? You're looking for those few plays where sportsbooks are slipping up and giving you too much value. And Tatum under 30.5 points is a clear example, right? For, Derek White, all books have his line at 11.5 points. There's no major differences in the odds. Prize Picks, Parlay Play, they have his line at 11.5. There's no value. We don't want to touch that play with a 10-foot pole. So Tatum under 30.5 points, that's my first pick. And then what we can do is we can move on to points plus rebounds. So I just kind of pull up different markets, different player prop markets, and I look for value. And my second pick, you're going to see right here. So you can actually just search for specific players. So I can go to Malcolm Brogdon. And what you're going to see is here, right, for Tatum, Parlay Play had their line too high. For Malcolm Brogdon, points plus rebounds, Parlay Play has his line too low. So every sports book, right, all these sports books, again, you treat them all as a sharp bettor, as a data point on where the line should be set. All these platforms have Brogdon's line at 18.5. Parlay Play, their line's at 18, so we want to take the over, right? Parlay Play is too low. So that's the second pick I went with. Again, I'm just following the data, right? So my final pick is Tyrese Maxey, points plus assists. So literally just going through various markets, trying to hunt down some plays with value. And what you're going to notice is for Maxey, Parlay Play has his line at 22. All the sports books have his line at 21.5. Parlay Play, their line's too high. We want to take the under. So those are the first 3 picks that I went with on Parlay Play. So again, Parlay Play, it's a platform that works very similar to Prize Picks. So what I mean by that is these platforms, both of them, right? Parlay Play has slightly better payouts, but they're fixed payout platforms, right? So if I take Booker's over 36.5 points plus rebounds or as under, my payout doesn't change, right? If I take over versus under, my payout doesn't change. And it's the same thing with Prize Picks, right? You switch this to an under, you're getting the same payout. If we switch Embiid to Jaylen Brown, we're getting the same payout. So these are what we call fixed payout platforms. They don't change your payout based on you selecting over or under. They don't change your platform based on the picks you select. You could select a golf pick instead, right? You're going to be getting the same payout on Prize Picks. So basically what you can do is you can back out what percentage of your picks do you have to win to be profitable on parlay play as well as prize picks, right? So you can do this for both platforms. They're both fixed payout platforms. Any 6 picks you select, this is your payout on parlay play. You go 6 for 6, 25x, 2.5x, 5 for 6, 4 for 6, you get a 0.5x payout. So what you can do is you can take these payouts and just literally back out. I'll include this spreadsheet, kind of in the description. So on parlay play, you have to win, right? You can only lose, long story short, you have to win over 53.22% of your picks to make money on this platform long term. So if you look at parlay play, right, you can see you're just selecting overs and unders for player props. So if you have no advantage, if you have no edge, as we call it in sports betting, if you have no edge, no advantage, you're only going to be able to win these player props correctly 50% of the time, right? You're going to be correct 50% of the time, wrong 50% of the time. You're going to win 50%, lose 50%. If you have no advantage, you're going to get all of these player prop picks you're selecting correctly 50% of the time, and you're going to get them incorrectly 50% of the time. So you won't be profitable, right? On parlay play, to be profitable, you have to win over 53.22% of your picks to win on this platform, right? And most people just can't do it. Most people can't get an advantage. They can't find an edge. They don't know how to look at data. They don't know how to compare the lines on prize picks to parlay play and look for value, which is really what sharp, profitable sports betting is all about. So, for example, what we want to do, and I'll show you an example of a pick I went with from the OddsJam, positive expected value, positive EV betting tool, is you just want to look at sportsbook odds, right? So essentially what the positive EV tool shows you is spots, right, where you can get a line on parlay play, but the sports books have one side, either an over or an under. In this case, it's Durant's over, heavily favored, right? So you just want to take these bets in green and in bold. So if you use Fliff is a sports book. It's available in a lot of places like California, Texas. This is the profitable bet you want to go with. It's the most profitable bet on OddsJam right now. Giants minus 2.5 at plus 190 odds. So this is another, this is a benefit of having multiple, sportsbook accounts. You never know which book is going to slip up and offer value, profitable bets on a given day, right? Sometimes we find more plays on prize picks. Sometimes it's more plays on parlay play. You really don't know, right, which book in advance is going to screw up, and they're going to offer profitable bets. Their lines are going to be out of sync with the market. So as a sharp bettor, we want to have as many sportsbook accounts as possible. So I use Fliff. It's one of the bookmakers I use, but of course this video is about parlay play. So again, parlay play is a fixed payout platform. Your payout doesn't change based on you selecting overs or unders. Doesn't affect your payout, right? So what you want to do is you want to find spots. You need to win picks, winning over 53.22% of the time. So essentially, you just want to look at sports books, right? You want to find spots. Durant over 5.5 assists is a perfect example where sports books have one side heavily favored. So here, all of the sports books have Durant's over 5.5 assists on the OddsJam positive EV tool. You're going to see all the sports books. They all have Durant's over. His over 5.5 assists as the heavily favored outcome. Around like minus 140 odds, Caesars minus 139, Fliff minus 145. So again, as sharp bettors, we treat all these books as data points. Every sports book is a data point. They're all telling us the same thing. Durant's a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. All the sports books have his over as the favored outcome, as the heavily juiced outcome. Right? Bet Online has his over at minus 130. They're giving you plus money on his under. So all these sports books have the over favored. We know this is a player prop where the over is more likely than the under. And what you can see is this is a player prop that's winning 53.47% of the time. So according to the Fantasy Optimizer. So you can use this tool on parlay play, prize picks, any of these fixed payout platforms. But essentially what this tool does is it just uses sportsbook odds, right? Everything's just based in data. It uses sportsbook odds to tell you the win probability for your bet. So for Durant over 5.5 assists, right? We know all the sportsbooks have his over favored, so we know the over's winning over 50% of the time according to the sportsbooks. Durant's always going over or under, so if his over is more likely, we know his over is winning over 50% of the time. So all the books have his over favored. We know his over is occurring more than 50% of the time. But what this fantasy optimizer does is it just actually quantifies for you, what's the win probability for your bet. Minus 200 odds means a 2-to-1 favorite. So minus 200, right? By definition, minus 200 means 2-to-1 favorite, 2/3 to win. So for Durant, sportsbooks don't have his over, juiced all the way to minus 200, but still, the over is the favored outcome. And you're going to see this is a player prop winning over 53.22% of the time. So it's profitable in a parlay play entry. So what this, betting tool does is it just shows you all of these picks in green are just player props that are winning over 53.22% of the time on parlay play. So I ended up taking Jaden Schwartz under 2.5 shots on goal. You can see that right here. And then Nico Heiser over 2.5 shots on goal, right? Literally just following the data. All the sports books have Nico's over heavily favored, right? The sports books have his over juiced around minus 135 odds. His over is the favorite outcome, so we want to take his over. For Jaden Schwartz, sports books have his under favored, right? So as data-driven, as sharp sports bettors, we want to take his under. All the books have his under favored around minus 140 odds, so that's a great player prop to go with on parlay play. And again, on prize picks, you're going to see different plays. All of these books have different lines from one another. And on prize picks, you have to win, right? Because parlay play, they have slightly higher payouts. You go 5 for 6, you get a 2.5x payout. Only 2x payout on prize picks. Because parlay play has slightly higher payouts, what you're going to notice is, on prize picks, you have to win 54.25% of your picks to be profitable, right? Because they offer lower payouts. So once you go through the math, you're going to see, hey, on prize picks, I got to win 54.25% of my picks to be profitable. And I'll include this spreadsheet in the description as well. So on parlay play, they offer better payouts, so you only have to win 53.22% of your picks to be profitable. So what I ended up going with on prize picks is right here. All of the picks we went through, Maxey under 22 points plus assists, that's play number 1. Kevin Durant over 5.5 assists, that's play number 2. Jaden Schwartz under 2.5 shots on goal, just from the fantasy screen, we just saw that. Nico over 2.5 shots on goal. Tatum under 30.5 points. All the books and prize picks had his line at 29.5. So if we go back to the NBA, prize picks has Tatum's line at 29.5, just like all the other books. So parlay play, they had their line too high. And then we have Brogdon over 18 points plus rebounds. So 6 picks, all sharp player prop bets for Thursday. Let's make some money.